First, create the voting points of your authenticated event. We go to the menu item Event and Presentations and create a new event called Annual General Meeting. First, go to the Settings. In the Charts side tab, turn off the dynamic charts, which are only used for normal events, but not for authenticated meetings, so that attendees don't see intermediate results. You can then upload a welcome image and enter a welcome text in the settings. Otherwise, we'll take care of the voting questions. We create the first question. This is, do you approve Agenda Item 1 of the Annual General Meeting? And provide the answers here. Yes, no, or abstain. And so, put on all the questions that you would like to have in your meeting. I just added 2 more questions here. Now let's take care of participant management. The first thing we're going to do is create a list of the participants that are allowed to attend the session. For example, we'll call this Shareholder 2022. I want this meeting to be secret. I also want substitutions to be allowed, and I can already import a list of participants here. This is relatively simple in structure. The first column contains the email addresses. In the second column, PIN numbers can be specified. If the column is left empty, PIN numbers are automatically generated for this participant. In the third column are the voting shares, and the fourth and fifth columns are for the name or company. I am now importing this list. My participants have been imported, and an individual PIN number has been created for each. Now, I can still set up substitutions. As an example, Tim Koros substitutes Benjamin Harris. Down here below, I have my module for the invitations of the participants. I can still customize the invitation text before I send the invitation. I now send the invitation to all participants, and each participant now gets a mail with his individual PIN number. Since I have put myself on the list of participants for this demo, I have received an invitation with my individual PIN. I then need this as a participant on the day of the event. And now, for example, the day of the event has come, and we would like to hold our event. Here on the Events button, we have our created session. We start the session and assign a room name. If we don't assign a room name, a random name will be generated for the room. We also select the list of participants that should be allowed for this event. I can now throw the QR code on the presentation wall, or the participants can go to TEDME.com and enter the room name and then enter their individual PIN number. Then they are logged in and can vote as soon as a question is triggered. We'll get to the first voting point here. I can scroll through my questions here and can trigger a question by pressing the button at the bottom center. This question pops up for participants to vote on. I vote for myself here. Then for my proxy, which was created for me. On the presentation wall, I see that 2 answers have been given. I stop at the appropriate time and have my result here. But now let's take care of the evaluations. I can see everything that was voted on here in my meeting in the evaluations. I have all the individual results here, sorted by date and time. But I also have an entire meeting protocol, a journal, in which I have all the details in one document. I can see who logged in when, who was logged in as a proxy, what the individual voting results were. I also see who participated in each individual voting question, but not how they voted, since voting was done by secret ballot.